Hey, how are we doing today? Well, today on this week's Moment with McClaskey, I kind of want to get into some hiring. What does it mean? Who do we hire? What questions do we ask? What are we looking for? I can tell you that when I started hiring people, I was given the wonderful advice to just go sit down and talk with them. And that was it. That was the extent of my training. Okay, I'm going to go talk to them. I had I don't know, 5-minute conversation with them. Like, they're awesome. Of course I want to hire them. They weren't. They were awful. It was actually one of the worst employees, team members, whatever we call them, that I ever had the privilege to work with. Because I didn't know what I was looking for. And nobody trained me. And I tell you what, most people that I meet never get trained on how to interview, how to look for things that they're going to hire for people. They just are told to go talk to them. Or, do you like them? Would you hang out with them? Would you have a beer with them? These thoughts that are just mind blowing to me now. That's not how you interview people. You want to know how to do it? Let's get into this. There's going to be 3 parts that you need to figure out when you're interviewing somebody. The first is going to be your non-negotiables. There has got to be a list, whether it be 5, 4, 3, however many items that you have. That has to be. Now, I'll tell you, one is always going to be, does their pay requirements meet what you're paying? If their desire is to make $1 million a year and you're paying $50,000 a year, it's not going to work. Stop the interview. Thank them for their time. Move on. If this is a remote job that they have to get to, do they have reliable transportation? What is their schedule? Hey, if you're only available to work 3rd shift, but this is a 1st shift job, then no, it's not going to work. Whatever these non-negotiables are, you have got to get through these. This is the easy part. This is, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to answer yes to all 5 of these questions, or 4, or however many it is, before we can even move on to see if you're going to be a cultural fit. You can't put a square peg in a round hole. And if they are a square peg, and the job position that you have is a round hole, it's not going to work. Well, the next part is, what are you looking for? Do you need somebody who is going to be compliant and follow process steps? Or do you need an artistic person who is going to create a path? Well, if you need a creative and they are only into, hey, I need process steps, I need to follow them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's not going to fit. If you need a process-driven person, you need to ask questions based on how you follow a process. Tell me about how you follow a recipe. How do you measure things out? If you need someone process-driven and they say, I just add spices until my ancestors tell me to stop, or I just throw it in there with love. That's a creative side. If you need somebody driven with process, it's, I measure out 1/4 cup of garlic. I measure out 1/4 cup of onion. That's the difference. And then the third part, will they show up? I know that seems mind blowing, but if you don't show up, then you can't do any of the other things. So tell me about the last time you were late. How does it make you feel when you're not on time? How often do you miss work? That's it. You want to know how to interview? Those are the 3 parts. I'm putting it out into the world because, sadly to say, nobody teaches this. So here you go. Here's how to interview on this week's Moment with McClaskey.